Welcome to World Travel Made Easy with Itinerary Boss, the podcast where we dive deep into insider tips, travel hacks, and the best ways to explore the world smarter. I'm your host, Ross. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or just starting your next getaway, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's episode, I've got something special for you. Head over to itineraryboss.com to grab your free resource to get you started traveling smarter and quicker. And it's all yours to help you make your next trip unforgettable. Don't also forget to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcast on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube so you never miss an episode. We've got new travel tips, interviews, and destination inspiration coming your way every Wednesday. And if you enjoy the show, don't forget to share it with a friend and give us a rating and review to help more people travel. Also, make sure to subscribe to the Itinerary Insider at itineraryboss.com, where you'll get all the latest episode releases, blog posts, as well as exclusive credit card sign-up bonuses, my travel must-haves, and travel hacks delivered straight to your inbox. Let's get you traveling smarter. And now, on to the show. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of World Travel Made Easy, where today we're going to dive into an introduction around hotel rewards and why it's important to get started as early as possible and leveraging your stays at hotels for personal as well as for business. I wanted to dive into this subject because I started traveling a lot for work early in my 20s and started to maximize hotel rewards by staying at Marriott and Hilton. A lesson I wish that I learned earlier that I want you to take away is also leveraging IHG and Hyatt just to be able to maximize as many points as possible, as well as leveraging different credit cards that I wish I had known about earlier in my career, so I could have maximized those points. Definitely was happy with, being able to leverage Marriott as well as Hilton and signing up for those, and being able to also get some free nights on some of our trips that I'll dive into. But also just learning the ability to leverage your personal credit cards sometimes with work and being able to put those towards your stays was a valuable tip as well. So, going to dive in today into four of the big ones, which are Hyatt, Hilton Honors, Marriott Bonvoy, and the ISG rewards. I'm going to start with Hyatt, just because that's a great entry level one, and I wish I had known about it a little bit earlier. The benefits of Hyatt are being able to, one, transfer Chase Ultimate Rewards to Hyatt. So what that means is if you have a Chase credit card and you have points on that credit card, you have the ability to then go and look at how many Hyatt points are per night. And sometimes on off peak dates, there could be ones that are 3,500, 5,000, some of even the bigger ones sometimes are 20 to 25,000. So that's the beauty of Hyatt is it does have a lower threshold of points, and some of those Chase sign up bonuses, or if you have ones that get a larger and get a larger spend, similar to ones that I have in my wallet are the Chase Sapphire Reserve. We have the Chase Sapphire Preferred that we also use for a lot of travel that my fiance has. And then there's also the Chase Freedom Unlimited. So those are the three that we have in our wallet, but there's many more. We're actually looking at getting a couple more to start to maximize those. But even if those, say are, for example, a Chase IHG card, you also can transfer those ultimate rewards to Hyatt. So that's a really nice thing about Hyatt. There's a bunch of different ones that people are familiar with, some of those being the Park Hyatt Maldives. Also, there's a Hyatt in Park City in the Canyons. That's a great place to stay. So if you go to Park City and you like to ski in the canyons, it's right there. Walk up to the lifts. Have seen those and have always wanted to stay there. And then the one that's one of the most familiar and popular is the Hyatt Peninsula Papago, which is down there in Costa Rica, where you'd fly into Liberia, and then that's one of their most popular ones. Actually, had a friend that stayed there for President's Club and absolutely loved that. We didn't stay there when we went to Costa Rica this past year, but have heard great things about it. So I'll have a some Travel Tip Tuesday socials coming out with content. So stay tuned for those. But what I really like about Hyatt is, they have a lot of different hotels within it. And I'm going to share my screen just to walk through, how easy it is to get signed up. So when you go to Hyatt, if you come up, pretty simple. When you're going to join, you would just go to join now. And it doesn't, if you're signing up, again, membership's free. You get free nights, you get rewards. You'll also get different bonuses sometimes that they'll send you via email, which is great. So they'll send you different things that or different promos that'll get you to be able to, get some of those potential extra bonus points. So here's one of the credit cards. This is the World of Hyatt, and that's through Chase. And one of the things that people like about this, and you can do this, so you can apply now, or if you wanted to, you can go to different places. I like 10x Travel. There's also different affiliate links that you could go and apply to. And then once you sign up for that, you want to go ahead and spend that sign up bonus, which it looks like it's $3,000, and you get that 60,000 points. So you'll also have other bonuses. So really simple and easy. All you got to do is go in, join, and then from there, you have everything from account, my rewards, profile, reservations, past stays. If you want to look and learn a little bit more, can go into the program overview, which is great. So really easy, but I think that's the thing that I think most people, when they start to think about this is they think they have to stay at a ton of hotels. They think they have to do this. They think they have to travel a bunch for work just to get these points. And really it's just signing up. And then, right, if you do have Chase Rewards points, or if you are traveling a good amount for work, sign up, because then you can, start to build up those points, even if it's just for a little bit, but also having that credit card will start to get you more status. And then if you're looking at the different Hyatts, if you're thinking, okay, what's part of the Hyatt collection, go here. And this is going to be on every website that I walk you through, and you'll be able to see here's the different ones. So really like Hyatt. Yeah, if you want to get started somewhere, I feel like that's a really good place to get started. I wish that I had known that. I started, and I'm going to dive next into the Hilton Honors rewards program. I started with Hilton and Marriott Bonvoy, but I started with Hilton because I traveled a lot for work. I had a lot of people who said, Hilton's great, Marriott's great, and when I was traveling for work, I wanted to stay at the same hotels as my colleagues. So I got started there. Definitely good programs because those are two of the most popular and some of the more higher end ones. But getting some of those points, sometimes you're having a lot of stays to be able to get a free night. And I think for people that sometimes get those credit card bonus sign up in the mail where it says 150,000 points for Hilton. And something to look out for and be cautious of is, when you look at Hilton points compared to Hyatt, a Hilton stay maybe at an airport, right? Nothing crazy, could be 60,000 points. And then you're thinking, okay, so I get 2 or 3 free nights, not at this super nice place. It could be a great hotel, but it's not going to be right. Like one of the more key ones that's more central, that's kind of in the middle of the city, that everyone drives to go and stay at. So something to keep in mind. Same as Hyatt. If you go into Hilton, you can go in here and it's as simple as joining, which is great. And then from there, you can see the different, benefits, points, offers, credit cards. So yeah, you can go into here and look at these, um, and then just kind of see what's, different locations, which is nice. So being able to earn points through stays and promos, I think what they had mentioned when you went back and you saw offers. So, once you sign up for that, you are going to get different emails. So you'll get some of those bonuses, which is great. And, there's going to sometimes you'll get free nights on award stays. So sometimes that can be good. Again, signing up for the credit card. There's Hilton Honors, Amex personal and business cards. I like to go by the Chase 524 rule and get as many cards as possible, starting out through Chase, because then you're not going over that with some of your credit cards. And we'll do a deeper dive on that episode in a few episodes. But being able to, sign up, earn points through Hilton Honors, getting some award nights, sometimes for free, depending on, what you've how many nights you've stayed at. And then just being able to leverage personal credit cards. So, for example, if you travel for work, and let's just say you work for a startup, and everything, all your travel is put on your personal card, well, you're able to sign up for, if you want to get the Hilton Honors Amex, great. If you want to get something like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, Capital One Venture, Venture X, Chase Sapphire Reserve, some better entry level cards, and then book all your travel through those, then you're able to maximize, one, the points from those. If you're getting them as a sign up bonus, you then get that nice sign up bonus, and you're also getting Hilton Honors rewards. So the beauty of that is then you get those rewards for Hilton, and you'll also get, let's say the sign up bonus is 60,000 points. You'll then have those 60,000 points that you could also then transfer maybe to Hyatt, maybe if you want to buy a flight over to Europe and travel on points. For example, we, leverage the Chase Sapphire Reserve, just our spend on trips, big group dinners, the Chase Business Unlimited Inc. sign up bonus, the Chase Freedom Unlimited sign up bonus when we furnished our house, as well as just spend on Capital One Venture and mapping those out to get business class to and from uh, Bangkok and then home from Bali on Qatar, which is, the most sought out business class trip, just by leveraging those sign up bonuses. So really getting strategic, thinking, how can I do that? And for personal and work, I think, I worked for a startup for about a year and a half, and we booked everything on our personal card. So what I was doing is I didn't sometimes like booking through the Chase travel portal, but in that case, and the reason is sometimes they charge a little bit more, but in that case, since I was doing it for work and I was getting 5x points on flights and 10x points on hotels, I was trying to maximize my points as possible through the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So those are different tips and tricks to keep in mind when you do travel for business. And an example of signing up early for the Hilton Honors rewards program when I first started traveling, many days a week, when I was selling ultrasound on the road throughout the mid Atlantic, staying probably 3 to 5 nights a week in hotels. I signed up immediately, and within about a year and a half was able to accumulate enough points when we had our first Europe trip that I planned out in 2017 to Munich, Berlin, and Amsterdam. We got to stay 3 free nights in Berlin. And that was one of the ways I was able to, you know, get my friends to come, because I was able to say, hey, you're going to save money on two of the places that we stay in hotels. One, you're going to save on 3 nights in Berlin when we stay in Hilton. And, when you're 25, 26, when you say, oh, I got a nice central hotel in Hilton for free, or in Berlin, staying at Hilton for free, that's pretty good. And also it's pretty easy to convince people to come with you. So something to keep in mind. Another thing is that was, we got to stay in Berlin at that Hilton. And that just made that then made us start to travel more and more and more. And I'm going to get into the Marriott Bonvoy program after this and speak to, what where we were able to stay there. But I think if you're coming in here, it's always good because it has, they have a lot of these call to actions where you can join, you can get bonus points. There's some of these credit cards for Amex. You can see some of the rewards, and then they have some of the locations as well as these. Um, and here's different places too that you can stay with Hilton. So that's nice if you're trying to figure out, okay, what hotels are part of Hilton, you can go down here and start to search. So something to look into. But for Marriott Bonvoy, I'm gonna go into that real quick. Marriott's, I like Marriott a lot. That's one that I've stayed at. Same thing. I stayed there more than Hilton. I just signed up for both when I was traveling, just in case there wasn't a Hilton available or around, depending on if I was going to a more rural place. And I think that's another thing is, signing up for all these programs and rewards are good because then if you're going somewhere more rural or if there's, you live somewhere and there's a hotel that is more popular, hotel chain that's more popular, then you have the ability to have all those there for you. So for Marriott Bonvoy, again, if you go into, our credit cards, they'll have these. They have some of these offers. So you have the boundless credit card, and you can see here's 3 free nights. You can see terms. Here's the credit card from Chase. My suggestion is get either ones from Chase. And that is just because staying below that 520 Chase 524 rule, which we'll go into. And then, if you have, um, if you want to do Amex, you can. But just something to read into is all of these, what do you get? And I think, if you are traveling to Marriott, and you want to, when you do go to Marriott and stay there, using that for your stays is good. And again, if you're traveling for work and you're using a personal card and you're able to get this and you get 6 times the points on, you know, each night and you're spending $300 a night, that's 1,800 points times five. If you're staying 5 times a week, that's a decent chunk of points. I mean, you're looking almost at 10,000 points. So just thinking into those and thinking how you can strategically map out those is good. If you go to, our brands, Marriott has acquired so many different brands. So I think when you think about, okay, where can I stay and what's a part of Marriott, think about how you can leverage those points. So you can see you got MGM. So if you're someone who goes to Vegas, sign up for that. One of my favorites is in a sleeper is the Moxie. So the Moxie is if you can, usually they're going to be more in cities, but it's a it's kind of a hostel type vibe. They've done it to make it more open so you can hang out with people who might be traveling. It feels like when you walk in, it's like a bar type vibe, but it's also just there's different games. The lobby is very cool. It has more pink lighting. So I really like the Moxie ones, but here's all the different ones you can stay at, which is great. So look into those. I think too, a tip is if you're planning, so something that we're doing is if you're planning a wedding and you have a hotel block and you're working with the wedding planner, ask them, hey, are we able to get 2, 3, 4x the points on each of our guest room stays? So for us, we have a hotel block at a Marriott chain hotel. For our guests who come in, each person that books, we're able to negotiate 2 times the points on each of those stays. So, that might lead to, I'm not back napkin mathing it, but that might lead to a free night or two for us for that. So, strategic ways not to be able to, leverage that. Hotels are willing to negotiate, right? Especially if you're doing corporate events, if you're doing larger wedding stays. So, something to think about. So at a high level, again, oh, and one other thing, Marriott, from doing this similar tactic that I did with Hilton, was able to score 3 free nights in Munich in very central location for Oktoberfest. So we were able to stay in central walking distance to Oktoberfest at a Marriott just because, leveraging those business travel when I was on the road a bunch. And, that was definitely a selling point for getting my friends over there was, hey, we got a free couple nights at the Marriott right next to where we got to walk to go to Oktoberfest. So things to keep in mind. And lastly, I'll just go over IHG. So IHG, when you think about IHG One Rewards, first thing that come to mind is Holiday Inn. So IHG, you also have, uh, if you're going overseas, you have the Intercontinental. There's also the Kimpton, which is a nicer hotel. So this is a great one because, these are pretty standard across, but also, getting if you look at this, you have the Chase One Rewards World Elite, and that's, 60,000 points bonus, but also five free nights when you hit that sign up bonus. So again, starting out, getting started out, so you just signing up, very simple. Again, if you come up here and you go to sign, my stays. Sorry. If you go to, oh, that's not, there we go. You can see that. Give me one sec. Okay. So you can see that I recently got signed up, or I got signed up a little bit ago, but I recently wanted to start using IHG more. And you can see there's a ton of different places you can stay. So I think it's just getting started, looking how to use it, but also finding, okay, where may I like to travel? Where could I potentially stay? And just starting to leverage those. So being able to earn those is going to be important. So, if you are traveling for work, if you're traveling for business, starting to earn those points and then also getting one of the credit cards. So, I think a couple of the credit cards that I've looked into are the IHG Premier credit card, which I just showed. So that's at 60K points. It's also the five free nights. So, think about maybe if you have something that's coming up. So, for example, we have a wedding that's coming up. We're planning to stay, at an IHG hotel when we're in Bangkok. So at the Intercontinental. So being able to use one of those free nights. Also, we're doing our rehearsal dinner at a restaurant that is connected to a Kimpton. We're getting a hotel block at the Kimpton. Being able to leverage one or two of those free nights after we hit our bonus spend on the Kimpton is going to be save us a good amount of money, and we're going to experience a higher end hotel for our wedding. So thinking about those strategic ways, and also, right, like with looking at top credit cards through Chase, we have the ones that I just mentioned, the Freedom Unlimited, the Sapphire Reserve, and then fiance has the preferred. But thinking about what are some look and even looking up what are the best Chase credit cards and the IHG. Another thing too to think about is you get 26 times the points when you use that IHG credit card on that hotel stay. So obviously we'll be getting the free nights, but if you are using that when you do stay at an IHG and you spend $200, I mean, right off the bat, you're getting almost 4,000 plus points just for IHG. So things to get strategic with. I wish I knew that again, starting out. But that's a lesson that I learned that hopefully you can take away and you can say, hey, I'm going to sign up for all the different credit cards, or not all the different credit cards, all all the different hotel rewards, and then look into what are some of the credit cards that I can do to maximize, my points value and get free nights or be able to get the different statuses. So I think just to wrap things up, signing up as early as possible is great. Even if you're staying a few nights a year, I, again, you're starting to build points up. You're starting to build brand loyalty. You're starting to see what some of those promos are. You're starting to kind of learn, okay, what are, some of the different ways I can maximize some of my stays as well as leverage credit cards to do this. And I think just getting started is key. You don't have to become status at each of these off the bat, but if you do get started, you're going to start to build up some of those points. You're going to start to build up different free nights. You're also going to start to learn how the different credit cards work and how you can strategically use those to maximize points. So appreciate you tuning in. We'll have all the links to credit card signups within the show notes. Also, we have a deeper dive into airlines, signing up for those, as well as we have a deeper dive into just breaking down the different credit card banks. So Chase, Capital One, Amex, Barclays, and many more. And just being able to help you understand what do some of these credit cards and sign up bonuses look like? Which ones do we recommend? How have we leveraged some of these to save a bunch of money, travel smarter? What are some of the different things we look out for being located and traveling to and from and out of the DC area, Charlotte. And when I say DC area, you can think of Dulles, Reagan, as well as BWI, and just kind of traveling all over the world and giving you some things to look out for to get you started. So make sure, if you do want to sign up for some of these credit cards, it helps if you do it through, our link. That helps you get reward. That helps you get that sign up bonus. It also helps, us keep the show going from an affiliate standpoint. And if you like the show, make sure you follow, leave us a review, send us a DM if there's something you have a question on or want to learn more about, and share it with a friend or two, because this is how we help others start to travel more, learn more about travel hacking, and start to impact and elevate their life. But until next week, we appreciate everyone tuning in. Peace. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give us a rating and review so we can reach more people who are trying to travel. Also, make sure you give us a follow and hit the subscribe button. That way, you're not missing out on any of the upcoming episodes that come out every Wednesday. If you want to sign up for any of the exclusive credit card sign up bonuses that we mentioned, we'll link those within the show notes. And then that way you can get started on your points and miles travel hacking journey quicker. Tune in to next week's episode. Peace.